Hey friends, welcome back to Truthatude. If you are new around here, thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel. Zolsa's peacing out. My name is Lindsey Servin, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. Every week I put out videos talking about confidence, the different issues we face as women building our self-confidence and maintaining our self-confidence. So if that sounds interesting to you, keep watching. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button if you want more content on building and maintaining your self-confidence. So this week, I'm going to be talking about my recent breakup with social media. Now, I haven't entirely given up on social media, and I don't think it's this evil thing that exists. I simply just deleted the social media apps from my phone. So let me back up a little bit. Back in January, I didn't have like this major declaration or this, pending idea that I had wanted to give up on social media. I just recognized one day that my screen time was way too much. It was just too high for my liking, and when I really looked at the numbers, I was ashamed to see that I was spending like 4 or 5 hours on social media. Mainly, I use it for uploading content such as this or promoting my content, but I do fall into the trap of scrolling. Those damn videos that you find are so funny, and I just go into the rabbit hole. And so I really felt like there was so many other things I could be doing with those 4.5 hours a day that I was spending on social media. It was mind-blowing to me. So that is kind of why I just decided, for me, the ease of access and having the apps on my phone was really what was killing me. And so I just said, well, I'll just delete the apps from my phone and remove the temptation. And it actually was kind of magical for me, because if I want to get on social media, I have to go to my laptop, log in, go to the site, and for me, that is just too much activation energy to really even want to be on social media. So it kind of worked out perfectly that me just deleting the apps off my phone and trying to limit my social media usage actually kind of almost eliminated it. I don't get on social media very often, but what I do really like is the groups feature on Facebook, because I feel like that is a better use of social media, and I'll dive into that a little bit more. So one of the reasons, like I said, was because of the amount of time that I was spending on social media. And this video is just to talk about my experience of limiting social media and what felt right for me. This is not a video telling you that you should give up social media or how to use social media. This is just me sharing my experience. So do what you think is best for you. I'm just sharing some helpful things that changed my experience with social media and a little bit of the background about it. So like I said, one of the first issues that caused me to limit my social media usage was really the time that it was consuming. And the second thing was how negative it really felt. A lot of negative posts and conversations and interactions were happening, and I just didn't want that feeling. I didn't feel good after consuming social media. One of the things that caused me to not enjoy social media was the amount of oversharing. I love seeing people celebrate major moments in their life and, acknowledging milestones and, things that they're proud of and, making big moves and things like that. I love seeing that. I love that. But I will never enjoy seeing pictures of your food. I will never, unless you're a professional food photographer, I'm never gonna enjoy looking at your plate, okay? I'm never gonna care what outfit your kid wore on the first day of school. I love the little nuggets, trust me I do, but I don't care what they wore to school. I don't care what their Halloween costume was. I don't care about your outfits for anything. I don't. Unless you are a fashion blogger or a model or you have a clothing line, I don't care what you're wearing. That's just me, and I know that sounds negative, but these are things that I did not enjoy seeing, and so I realized that I needed to remove myself from the equation. the political rants or the relationship drama or people just putting their whole lives out there. Like, I did not enjoy that. So I just removed myself from the conversation and from the situation. And you can do that too. You have the power to not see all that stuff. I have people that I know on my social media who live their entire life on Facebook. They put every single detail of their life on there. You know, like what they're doing. They have passive aggressive, fights with whoever. It's just, we've all seen it, and I just don't enjoy that. That's just not for me, and that's just not my thing. Like, I'm not into the drama, and so I ended my relationship with Facebook. Not entirely, but like I said, I deleted the app, and man, I just feel great. I feel great afterwards. And so that was another huge reason for me to just limit it. Now, I've been off social media for over 2 months now, and nobody has noticed. Trust me, like, nobody has noticed, which is fine. Because that, to me, those are not where my authentic connections happen anyway, so I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. And like I said, it wasn't this huge declaration, oh, I'm giving up social media. I'm not giving up social media. I'm just not using it as much, and simply because it's just not on my phone anymore. And I was just kind of feeling yucky. The other reason was that I didn't feel like there was any return on investment for my usage. Now, I am a business owner, and oddly enough, part of my business, one of my services that I offer, is teaching people how to use social media to grow their business. But for my particular business, using social media to market my business doesn't really make sense. There isn't really a return of investment on me marketing through social media other than directly connecting with potential clients, which is why I use the groups feature, and that's valuable. But me posting every so often and trying to engage with other people, on their posts and their content, and curating others' content just really wasn't a good use of my time for my business. So the one arm of my business is marketing strategy, but the other is I'm a copywriter. So my clients are not going to my social media page to learn about marketing and copywriting. They're hiring me to copyright for them. So it just didn't make sense to put a lot of time and energy, and I just really didn't enjoy coming up with content. Now, I do have a wonderful social media manager who does my social media, and I don't even have to look at it or think about it or any of that, and that is one really amazing thing that I was able to implement. And the other thing was I just didn't really enjoy using social media for my business. Now, I do put out content, and so that was the other arm of Truthatude and nurturing that environment. But really, my dedication comes to the audience and to speaking to you directly through my content, which is my blog, which is my videos, and which is my podcast. And yeah, I plug those on social media, but really the people who want those avenues of content, they know where to find them. So other than marketing my content, I didn't feel like it was valuable for me to constantly be on social media interacting as an individual. So how I gave up social media was pretty simple. Like I said, one day on a whim, I just deleted the apps from my phone. And now I do get on every so often, log onto my computer and just kind of check in, make sure I don't have any messages. But the beautiful thing is that I found a couple of tools that allow me to post to my accounts and to check to see if I have messages without getting on the actual Facebook site or social media site or Instagram or whatever. And that has been very valuable to me. So if you are a business and you're looking for tools to help you limit your social media usage, but also remain active on it as far as your business presence, leave me a comment. I'm happy to share those with you. But I don't really put a lot of my business stuff on this channel, so you don't have to worry about that. You can ignore that too. And honestly, the results, how I feel after not being on social media, honestly, like I said before, nobody noticed that I was not on social media. All of these people trying to stay connected to me, I haven't heard from any of them. Not a single person has reached out to me and said, hey, you're not on social media, like, are you okay? Which could just speak more to to the value of my relationships, maybe, I don't know. But also the amount of mental space that has been created and how much lighter I actually feel. I feel so much lighter. I feel so much more connected to the other things that I actually care about. I have so much more time to focus on things that are actually important and tasks and goals that I actually want to put my energy into. It's amazing how much time just got freed up. But I just feel so much better. I don't have this gross feeling after consuming all of this negative chatter that's on social media. I just don't. And when I do have people reach out to me directly through my content, that's amazing to me. And that is a worthy interaction for me as far as social media is concerned. So really, I just made it work for me. And I bring all this up to say that, you know, social media is a very valuable tool. Like I said, I help businesses use social media to grow. But if you're not using it in a way that enhances your life and really it's just dragging you down or sucking your time, it might be worth evaluating whether or not you should continue using it or how you use it or limiting your usage of it. Like I said, this is not a preachy video on social media is bad, because I don't think that. I think that social media is a tool and how you use it is up to you. And I've just found some different ways to use it that work better for me. Another question I get is, well, how do you stay informed? Where do you get your news? Oh God, I do not get my news or my information from social media. And it is scary how many people do. Oh my gosh. I stay informed. I know what's going on in the world. I choose to consume news and current events on my own terms so that I'm in the right mental state. If something is, you know, not good, then I choose when I consume that. I read the news, you know, from reputable sources. I, you know, cross-verify different perspectives, but I do not get my information from social media, and I just really encourage people to not do that. It's just not good. But yeah, I'm informed, and I don't need Facebook or Instagram or any social media site to stay informed. So, and I have always been pretty diligent about researching all the different aspects and perspectives of any given topic. So I feel like my, you know, when I do get information, it's pretty well rounded and my perspective is pretty well rounded and well informed. So I am happy to share, you know, different avenues where I get information from and how I cross-reference. If you want, leave me a question in the comment section below. I'm happy to share kind of how I consume news and information and maybe help you do the same. So if you are curious about your relationship with social media, that sounds kind of silly to say, but you know what I mean, or you're feeling like you want to get more out of it or change the way that you use it so that it serves you, I have a couple of tips for you that have been helpful for me. Take what you love, toss what you don't. The very first thing that I have done before I kind of limited my use, and this started way back actually, I started curating the content that I was consuming. I started to unfollow like a banshee. I unfollowed so many people that I knew. I unfollowed a lot of pages. I unfollowed every news network. I unfollowed anything that just was negative or didn't make me feel good or wasn't adding value to me. I wasn't learning anything or being entertained or really experiencing anything positive. I just unfollowed it. I deleted people, I snoozed people, I unfollowed people, anything that was bringing any kind of negativity into my sphere, I just unfollowed it or deleted or blocked or whatever. So you can do that. It's your social media and you can choose what you want to consume. So when I curated my feed, not only did I unfollow and snooze and delete and block a lot of things, but I looked for positive things. I looked for, you know, groups that I was interested in, topics that I wanted to follow, brands that I wanted to support, influencers that I felt were positive and had a good impact. So I not only deleted a bunch of stuff, but I added some things too, so that when I do go onto social media, it's an enjoyable experience. I feel like I'm getting a lot out of it. So curating the content that you consume was the very first thing that I did, and is the very first thing that I recommend to you if you want to change your interaction with social media. So the second thing that I did was I really looked at the importance of maintaining a presence on my social media, but not wanting to be active on the actual sites. And so I did some research and I found some tools that I could use to still post and provide content and provide value, but that I didn't actually have to be on the site themselves. So I found a posting scheduler that I liked, and as a marketing professional, I was very aware that there were a lot of scheduling tools out there. I just really did a lot of research and found the one that I like and that works for me and my brain and how I want to use it. And then I, downloaded the different apps that are, associated with each platform that was kind of like the business manager of those apps. So like Facebook has the Facebook Business Suite, and you can manage your page through that, and Messenger and YouTube Studio and different apps that are connected to the social media site, but not necessarily the actual site itself. I know it sounds confusing, but you'll get it. But that way I could check to see if people messaged me, make sure that I was responding to comments and messages without actually having to log on to the app. So finding tools to enhance your social media experience is the second thing that I would recommend if you want to change how you're using it. So I bring up all this to say that, I looked for tools to help improve my social media experience, and I looked for resources and support. And the reason I bring this up is because I realized that it was important for me to ask for help and to ask for support. And that support looked like tools in this particular situation. And often we don't think of changing certain aspects of our life because they don't look like problems at the time, right? Like I didn't think I had a social media problem, and I don't think I have a social media problem, but 4.5 hours of screen time would probably beg to differ, and that's every day, right? So if I'm spending 4 or 5 hours of my day scrolling on social media or checking social media or posting or whatever, I really can't say I don't have time for other things in my life, because clearly I do, right? I just have to direct that energy into something that I find more valuable. So I needed support, I needed help, I needed tools, I needed resources, and so that's what I found. And it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to find tools and to, look for resources to help you with something, even if it's kind of embarrassing, to kind of admit to yourself, like, ooh, I might have a little bit of a problem here. The third thing is, and then I tell this to my clients all the time, I tell this to the businesses that I work with, pick your favorite social media site. You do not have to be on every single social media site, and that is advice that I hear marketing professionals give companies all the time, and it's so irresponsible. And I won't go super entrepreneur on you, but I'm just saying, like, as my profession, I am constantly helping my clients unlearn these bad lessons of, oh, you have to be everywhere at once. You don't. So pick your favorite social media platform and just use that one. I don't use all of them. Like, I don't have Snapchat. I think Snapchat is a waste of time. I don't have TikTok and Clubhouse and all of those things. Like, I have a couple social media platforms that I find value in, and those are the ones that I stick to. And if you follow me on social media, you know which ones those are. So I'll leave all the links below in case you want to follow. Hey, I had to. When you are evaluating your interaction with social media and deciding, what you want to do with it, ask yourself, what is the purpose? How is this social media platform serving you? Is it for boredom? Like, let's just be real. Are you just bored? Are you looking for something to entertain you? Okay, great. So there are plenty of channels that are useful for entertainment. Are you using it as an avoidance tool to distract yourself from, tasks that need to be done? Are you avoiding, conversations with people? Are you using it as an avoidance tool? Because a lot of people do. I mean, look at anytime you go to a restaurant and there's two people at the table sitting across from each other and they're scrolling. That's avoidance. Sorry, but it is. Are you using it for connection? And if you really are using it for connection, because I hear this all the time, oh, I use it to stay connected to friends and family. Let's just get real. Are you really staying connected to those people? Are you really nurturing the relationships, having conversations? Or are you being nosy-rosy and you're just keeping tabs on people? Because I'll tell you this, there's a difference between keeping tabs on somebody and being connected to somebody. And I know that the hundreds of people on my social media are not genuinely trying to connect with me. They're keeping tabs on me, which that's fine, but let's just call it what it is. That doesn't really feel true for me. I don't feel particularly connected to any of the people that are on my social media. My inner circle, the people that I do feel close with, I speak to them on a regular basis, phone call, text, email, whatever, but rarely do I actually connect with anybody on social media. That's just my reality. I could honestly say that the people on my social media are not people who I would call to share, extremely important news with, or call in an emergency, or, share my deepest secrets or biggest dreams with. I just don't feel that level of connection. And so I bring this up to say, maybe reevaluate what you consider connection. Are you really genuinely connecting with people, or are you just putting your life on display, or are you just keeping tabs on other people? The point is just to ask yourself, what are you getting out of this social media usage? What purpose is it serving for you? How is it bringing value to your life? And if it's not, maybe you can cut the cord or take a break or limit your usage. That's totally a possibility. And speaking of limiting your usage, I didn't say the obvious, which is set timers and stuff, because for me that didn't work. And so I'm assuming that for a lot of people it doesn't work. So those were not tactics that I wanted to promote on here. That's just common sense. You can set timers and limits for yourself on anything, but for me that just didn't work. So as I mentioned, you don't have to be everywhere at once. And if you are a business owner, just a quick little tip for my entrepreneurs out there. As a business owner, you do not need to be everywhere at once. In fact, it is not strategic. So pick one or two platforms and do them really, really well. Get very good at using them and getting engagement from them and getting them to send traffic to your website and become customers, because that's what it's for when you use it for a business. But just pick one or two and get really good at it. You don't have to be everywhere at once. That's just my little nugget for my entrepreneurs and my businesses out there. I'll get back to the Truthatude stuff. And also, one more note for my business owners. Focus on profitability over popularity. It's something that one of my mentors taught me, and that is really what it's about, is converting followers into customers, not, just being super popular. So anyways, enough entrepreneurship. I digress. This is by no means telling you that you should give up social media. It's just offering a perspective that you could give up social media if you wanted to, if you found that it wasn't serving you, or that you could limit your usage or curate your usage to serve you better. I don't think social media is an evil like a lot of people do. I think it's a very valuable tool, and I think that it can serve people in a really good way if we use it to our best advantage. So I know that we covered a lot in this week's video, so thank you so much for sticking with me, but really my whole point in sharing this was not to discourage you from using social media or to shame anybody and tell them that they should, quit social media or anything like that. I really just wanted to share how I've been able to make social media work for me and to limit my usage and dedicate my time and energy to things that were more important to me, and also to share how incredibly light I feel and how much space I've created in my life in doing so. And I bring all this up for you to encourage you to explore your interaction on social media. How is it serving you? Is it serving you? What purpose is it serving in your life? Is it bringing you any value? and to offer some ideas on how you can change your interaction with social media for the better. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you hung in there till the end. I do really appreciate it. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more, you can always head over to the blog truthatude.com. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. If you want to follow me on social media, I will be posting quality, not quantity, and I will leave all the links in the description box below for you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I will definitely answer them. My question for you is, what is your biggest struggle with social media? What is your favorite thing about social media and what is your least favorite thing about social media? Let's start a conversation in the comments below. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one, and until then, stay true to the Truthatude. Ciao!